everybody. Welcome back to the Rock and Roll Rebel Show, and I'm your man, Thunder Dan. And they got distractions going on out there today. I guess the big distraction is this Jean Carroll lady. I mean, we went over this in the past, but I guess it's back up because Trump's going to court and all that. They're going to find out how much they owe when they get this jury selection and all that stuff. But, I mean, we've seen all the videos of this lady. This lady, she's a bit off. And I guess a lot of people now are saying that she's doing like a CSI or a Law and Order reenactment from some episode. You've seen the kooky stuff with Anderson Cooper. We're going to play that. Trump has broke the media. I mean, he has broke the media. They're talking him like he's a dictator, Mussolini. Oh, I mean, they're just going nuts now. They don't know what to do. They saw what happened in Iowa. They're going to see what happens, I guess, next Tuesday, right, is New Hampshire. So it's all falling apart for them. They don't know what to do. But we always in the jungle, baby. And remember, protect yourself at all times. That's rule number 1 at the Rock and Roll Rebel Show. We're always going to break the news. We got some breaking news. The Navy SEALs have still not been found, and the Biden administration is not taking questions on that for some strange reason. But I guess how many soldiers is Joe Biden going to have under his belt before he leaves office? Because you saw the Afghan debacle, and now you got these 2 Navy SEALs out there. Hopefully they're swimming. They frogmen for a reason, so hopefully they can swim. But it's like a weird story behind all that. I guess they were going up a ladder, and one fell, and the other one jumped back in, and then the ocean swell got rid of them. I mean, they're excellent swimmers, so hopefully God can get these soldiers back to the United States because they're American citizens fighting for our freedom. You know what I'm saying? And let's get to this. We got to get to this Jean Carroll lady. I don't understand how this judge here is hostile towards Trump because he's in New York, so you can't get a fair shake no matter what you try to do because this lady is bonkers. Everybody has the Trump derangement syndrome, so we're just gonna break it down. We're gonna play. I want to play with this. I want to play with MSNBC had a thing on her about the trial and how judge Trump's lawyers can't really talk. They can't talk about stuff, and I guess they are talking about something, a whisper or something, and they're scared that the jury's gonna overhear. But I mean, any jury these days, I mean, they're not sequestered, so they're gonna hear everything. They probably see it, but they're going to be like, huh, this lady? And she's kooky. There's like she's got some mouse house videos out. She's got tons of videos out, but let's hear what the mainstream media, how they're portraying this so you can see. Because usually whatever they portray or say is the opposite. It's all a lie. So let's play this and so we can see it and watch it together and understand that what we're going up against is Project Mockingbird. They all have an agenda. They're trying to stay in power, but they're not going to stay in power, and they're worried that because Trump knows this time around, and it's all over for him. So let's play this video.
So, Chris, let's go back to even before the exchange. I did see at least one of the exchanges that the plaintiff's counsel was complaining about. Former President Trump had a bunch of very noticeable reactions. I'm sitting in the right-hand side of the courtroom in the back, so I have a diagonal view of former President Trump talking to his counsel. I did see him, for example, when the May 10th, 2023 Truth Social video was played in the courtroom where he calls the verdict an absolute disgrace. I witnessed him mouth to Alina Habba, "That's true. I heard it as well." So Sean Crowley stood up for Jean Carroll, complained about 3 statements that former President Trump had made that were audible to those at the plaintiff's table, and she said must have been audible to the jury as well. That's when Judge Kaplan, for the second time today, reminded former President Trump that he should not be making comments that the jury could hear or that even audience members could hear, and then said, "You have a right to attend. You do not have the right to be disruptive or to disregard court orders." I hope that I do not have to remove you from the courtroom. And that's when Trump, just as Judge Kaplan said, couldn't help himself and said, I know that you would like nothing more. I know you really want to do that. And Kaplan, more in sorrow than in anger, shook his head and said, you just can't help yourself in these circumstances, can you? And then Kaplan walked off the bench. I have the feeling, Chris, knowing Judge Kaplan and how he's controlled his courtroom so far, this isn't the last we've heard of it. And it's likely that we won't have to see another outburst from former President Trump for Judge Kaplan to revisit this subject. He has had very firm control of his courtroom in contrast to Judge Engoron. Multiple times he has said to Alina Habba things like, if you don't have an objection, sit down. You're not here to make announcements. He is a person who's very intent on keeping control in his courtroom and for the most part has done it well so far. So, Chris,
That judge sounds like a total dickhead, bro. He just hates Trump so much, right? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, they're like, no, Trumpy bad, orange man bad. He's gonna kill everybody. He just got the media melting down. We're gonna get into that too, but let's play this E. Jean Carroll. We've seen her before. We've seen her in the videos. Seen her up all over the place doing crazy stuff. She's loopy, but this is probably one of the most loopiest ones, where she's fantasizing about certain stuff. And, I mean, she's trying to say that Trump tried to do something with her in the dressing room at some store. And lingerie, she loves lingerie. God bless this woman, because I don't know where she's coming from. But she's out there. She's out there. But let's bring this up right here, because this is her. She's a total winner, baby. She's a winner. And she's getting paid for by the deep state. So that's the one thing about all this. I mean, I think the guy from LinkedIn is backing her campaign, and he's a Democrat, you know. So they're all losing their brains out here. But let's play this right here.
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt. It just, you know.
Well, I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
I don't.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
For real? For real. That sums it up for me right there. I mean, she's got all these. You can find all these clips everywhere, but none of these clips are being allowed in court. So you can't play none of this cuckoo stuff in court. So, I mean, she's going completely bonkers. She's she's off the chain. And then here's the mainstream media, too, because the mainstream media is pumping all this nonsense, too. They hate Trump. It's never Trump. But they're going to get a rude awakening in New Hampshire next week. Nikki Haley still thinks she's got a chance. She's out here talking about she's going to do something. They're not doing nothing. They're not going to do nothing. People are aware of all this. People are aware of all this. And let's play this from the media, because I guess they don't like that Trump made that God made Trump thing, his a political ad. So they're all upset that because they all hate God. They don't like God. You know what I mean? They're trying to get God out of everything. But let's pull this up. And this is pretty wild, because they just don't know what to do no more. They lost it. They 100% lost it. All the media. I mean, it's going to be real interesting what happens here. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but things are going to definitely be changing here shortly.
The most powerful images are not of Hitler, are not of Saddam Hussein. The most powerful images are of the hypocrites surrounding him, praying that this guy's his savior. The image of Donald Trump as Jesus Christ being hung on the cross.
Yes, the images of Trump are ominous and important. but it does paint the darkness of putting him side by side of other dictators. Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein, you can go on and on. And that's where we have to put him. People truly don't understand what absolute power for Donald Trump will mean. It's not a stretch. You could end up in jail. That's what dictators do. They take their political opponents and they put them in jail. We will no longer have a vote.
He's already tried it once. Okay. I mean, he called me a murderer and was saying I should be thrown in jail for murder.
And, you know, when people say it's a stretch to put him next to Adolf Hitler or next to Mussolini, says who? What do we know he's capable of doing as an absolute leader in power? And I will tell everybody who's thinking twice, if you want to vote more than one more time, you need to vote for Joe Biden, because your vote will not matter anymore. You give that up. We will no longer be a free society. We take that for granted. We are not catastrophizing. The darkness is that dark.
We have to crush MAGA extremism forever.
Oh, try me, bitch.
What is that all about? They done gone nuts, bro. I guess because the Lincoln Project pulled out a thing that they try to pump is just a propaganda machine from the DNC. You can't trust any of these organizations no more. I mean, you saw just the nonsense they were talking about. So it'll be curious what happens with Trump and his trial. I mean, he might get off guilty, and then some people, then they're going to go into Georgia. I guess Georgia would be next. And Fani Willis is already in a whole bunch of trouble. She's paying off her lover. She's giving him all types of money. He's billing taxpayers of Georgia 24 hours a day, nonstop work. I mean, who's working 24 hours straight? Nobody. So he's cooking the books. Fani Willis came out that church talking about she pays them all equal. Like there's 3 attorneys on that, but he's getting the most money. He's getting like $500,000 more than all of them. He gets $100 more an hour. So the corruption's all there. And it's just not going to stop. It's just not going to stop. And then of course you had all the wackos around Davos at the World WEF, the Economic Forum. Those crazeballs out there, and they had like some person in there blowing off smoke and spitting in people's faces or something. I don't know. I don't think it was all that. I like to embellish here a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember
but they're just out there talking about, you know, hey, climate control, climate change, but they're all out there in their private jets and all that and spending up all the money. So I guess it's good for America now, because we saw everything that they were lying about. It all came out. It's our turn. You know what I'm saying? It's our turn. It's time for the common folk to be represented by these people and not ruled by these people. So you got to get out the corruption. You got to make sure you get out and vote. That's rule number 1. You got to get out and vote. You can't pay attention to any of them because they're all nonsense. And they just can't be trusted. That's the plain and simple. They can't be trusted. And just like Joe Biden, he's a fraud. And just like Kamala Harris, she's a fraud. They're all just, you know, she had Willie Brown. She got up there. So they all have like some weird way of getting into power. I feel like none of it's organic anymore. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then I guess everybody's also talking about Robert RFK Jr. was on Howie Mandel podcast. And I guess they were trying to say that they never said if you got the vaccine, you wouldn't get COVID, which we all know that's a lie now. But I can't find that JP Morgan video of the CEO. Oh, here it is. And he's supporting Trump. So I'm surprised they allowed him to say that at Davos, but he comes up on the screen and talking about how Trump did everything good. He got to drill, baby, drill, and all that stuff. So it'll be curious to see how what they're going to do to J.P. Morgan, if they're going to kick him out or something, right? Huh? Because they can't have nobody supporting Trump. But let's play his remarks. They're pretty smart remarks, and it's how most of us feel.
MAGA, they're actually looking at people voting for Trump, and they think they're voting, and they're basically scapegoating them, that you are like him. But I don't think they're voting for Trump because of his family values. Now, if you look, just take a step back, be honest. He was kind of right about NATO, kind of right about immigration. Mm-hmm. He grew the economy quite well.
China virus.
Tax reform worked. Yeah. He was right about some of China. I don't like what he did.
No, I said China virus.
Yeah, I understand. He may have been right. And I don't like how he said things about Mexico. I don't like, but he wasn't wrong about some of these critical issues, and that's why they're voting for him. And I think people should be a little more respectful of our fellow citizens. And when you guys have people up here, you should always ask the why. Not like it's a binary thing. You're supporting Trump, you're not supporting Trump. Why are you supporting Trump?
It's hard to hate 75 million of your fellow Americans. And
I agree.
It's done crazy.
And, the Democrats have done a pretty good job with the deplorables, hugging onto their Bibles and their beer and their guns. I mean, really, could we just stop that stuff and actually grow up and treat other people with respect and listen to them a little bit? And I do think the economy will affect. And I think this negative talk about MAGA is going to hurt Biden's election campaign. People are growing.
And that's right. That's 100% right. I guess that's why he is the CEO of J.P. Morgan. Even though they got busted with Epstein, right? Didn't they have that lawsuit with Epstein? They were letting Epstein have all this money, and they knew that he was up to shady stuff. So, I mean, even him, they're all just greed, I guess, at the end of the day, greed, and they want to pump aliens now. It seems like a lot of alien stuff coming out and weird stuff. So I'm curious what's going to happen in 2024. It's got Disease X they're trying to push or something. Then I saw something on the news today that cancer rates are up and all that of people under 50. So, but nobody wants to say vaccine. And then the Princess of Wales, right? King Prince William's wife, she's in the hospital. She's supposed to go in for like some abdominal surgery, and she's been in there for like 14 days. So who knows? Who knows? You had the thing with Jamie Foxx, and who knows? Who knows what's going on these days? But thank God I didn't get no vaccine, baby.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
Woo! Well, that's what we do out here, baby. We bad to the bone, baby. We bad to the bone. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you do protect yourselves at all times. It's a jungle out there. Like and sub up, baby. Like and sub up, right? Come on. Like and sub up. How about the Rock and Roll Rebel Show, Thunder Dan? We're trying to spread the word. We're trying to spread that real news and not that fake news. And I love you all. It's peace and love, baby. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And we'll be back, baby. We'll definitely be back.